He gave his seat to an alien elder with back pain, only to be greeted by an elite squadron at. The interstellar shuttle was packed tighter than a hive of restless hornets. Humans, Zorathians, Dralken, and at least 3 other species whose names Jason couldn't even pronounce were crammed shoulder to shoulder in the narrow, metal-lined interior. The vessel hummed as it prepared for departure, artificial gravity pulling everyone down into their cramped seats. Jason exhaled, grateful to have found a place at all. He had just returned from a grueling mining contract on the asteroid belt and wanted nothing more than to close his eyes and sleep through the 2-hour trip back to Earth's orbital hub. That's when he noticed the alien elder. She was tall, wrapped in layered robes of indigo silk, her silver skin glowing faintly beneath the dim shuttle lights. Her back was bent at an angle that made Jason wince in sympathy. She clutched a walking stick, ornate with symbols that shimmered as if alive. The other passengers avoided her gaze, pretending not to notice her trembling legs. Jason hesitated only a second before standing. "Here, ma'am," he said, motioning to his seat. The alien elder blinked at him with wide, glassy eyes. "Human," she rasped in a voice like crumbling stone. "You would surrender comfort for one such as I." "Of course," Jason said with a shrug. "You need it more than I do." Murmurs rippled through the shuttle. A few passengers rolled their eyes, others smirked. The elder lowered herself into the seat slowly, every movement deliberate. When she finally rested, she placed a clawed hand over Jason's wrist. "Kindness is rare among the young," she whispered. Jason smiled awkwardly, leaning against the wall for the rest of the ride. He didn't think much more of it. The shuttle docked at Earth's orbital hub, a massive ring spinning above the blue planet. Jason filed out with the others, eager to grab his gear and head for the surface. He never noticed that the elder hadn't followed. He was halfway across the concourse when shadows fell across him. A squad of armored soldiers in gleaming black and gold stepped into his path. Their armor bore the insignia of the Xeryth Dominion, the most feared military force in 3 sectors. "Jason Carter," the commander barked. His voice reverberated through a metallic helmet shaped like a hawk's beak. Jason froze. Yeah. Did I forget to pay a docking fee or something?" The soldiers shifted, surrounding him in a diamond formation. Bystanders scattered, whispering nervously. The commander raised one gauntlet fist in salute. "On behalf of the Dominion, we thank you for your service to the Matriarch." Jason blinked. "The what?" From behind the commander, the elder appeared, now walking tall, her back straight, her robes shimmering brighter than before. Gone was the frail figure. She radiated power, her eyes sharp and piercing. Jason's jaw dropped. "Wait, you're back." The elder chuckled softly. "The pain was real, young one. But so was the test." The commander's helmet retracted, revealing a scarred face etched with discipline. He gave Jason a nod of deep respect. "Few show compassion without motive. You gave your seat to the Matriarch of the Xeryth Dominion. That act will not be forgotten." Jason's thoughts tumbled like debris in 0G. He had given his seat to a random stranger. Now he was being stared at by one of the galaxy's most powerful rulers and her elite bodyguards. The matriarch stepped closer, her gaze steady. "For centuries, I have traveled incognito among the younger races, seeking evidence that kindness endures. Many turn away. Few act. Today you acted." Jason scratched his head. "I mean, it was just a seat." "To you," she said. "To me, it was proof that compassion still beats within fragile hearts. And so, I extend an invitation." The soldiers shifted, their armor clanking in unison. The commander unfurled a holosign, displaying the Dominion's crest alongside a list of honors and ranks. "You are offered position among us," the Matriarch declared. "A seat, not of comfort but of influence. Stand by my side, and help shape the future of our alliance." Jason's mouth went dry. He thought of the mining job he just left, the endless grind for credits, the loneliness of drifting between ports with no family waiting for him. And now, out of nowhere, destiny was staring him in the face. His instincts told him to laugh, to brush it off as some elaborate prank. But the sincerity in the Matriarch's eyes anchored him. She wasn't joking. "Why me?" he asked softly. "Because," she said, placing her clawed hand over his heart, "you gave up your place for another. That is the measure of a leader." The concourse around them had gone silent. Humans, aliens, traders, and dockworkers all stared at Jason, waiting for his answer. He swallowed hard, then nodded. "All right, I'll do it." A roar of approval echoed from the soldiers. The commander struck his chest in salute, and the Matriarch smiled. "Then rise, Jason Carter," she said, her voice carrying like thunder. "From this day forth, you are no longer a wanderer. You are guardian to the Matriarch, ally of the Dominion." The crowd erupted in applause. Jason stood there, dazed, realizing that a single act of kindness, giving up his seat to a tired elder, had rewritten the entire course of his life. And as the elite squadron escorted him away, he couldn't help but think, guess it really does pay to be polite. Jason stood frozen, the echoes of applause still vibrating through the orbital concourse. Just hours ago, he had been a tired miner with no purpose beyond earning enough credits to get by. Now, destiny had been thrust upon him by the simple act of giving up his seat. The Matriarch's eyes softened as she looked at him. "Do not fear what lies ahead. Leadership is not built on strength of arms alone, but on choices of compassion. The galaxy has no shortage of warriors. It hungers for men who understand sacrifice." Jason drew a steady breath, trying to absorb the weight of her words. Around him the crowd, human and alien alike, watched in awe. Whispers of guardians spread like sparks catching dry grass. For the first time in years, Jason felt seen. The commander raised his arm in salute once more. "Guardian Carter, the Dominion awaits your command." Jason gave a half-smile, shaking his head at the absurdity of it all. "Guess I'd better get used to better seating arrangements." Laughter rippled through the soldiers, but the Matriarch's expression remained solemn. She leaned close, her voice for him alone. "Remember, young one, this path begins not with glory, but with humility. Guard that truth, and you will never falter." Jason nodded slowly. "I'll try." "Do more than try," she whispered. "Do as you did today." With that, the elite squadron formed around him, their armor gleaming under the station's lights. As they escorted him away, Jason looked once over his shoulder. Ordinary travelers still stood frozen, watching the miner who had become something greater. He realized then, kindness hadn't just changed someone else's day. It had changed the course of his entire life. And so began the Guardian's journey.